Vincent Price, the master of horror, the king of Gothic cinema, and one of Hollywood's most elegant icons. His voice could send chills down your spine, and his performances defined an entire era of classic horror. But behind the charm and sophistication was a man capable of holding one of the longest grudges in Hollywood history. For 20 years, Vincent Price refused to speak to one of his own co-stars. What happened between them was so personal, so bitter, that it left a scar that never fully healed. You won't believe who it was or why it all began. Vincent Price wasn't just an actor. He was an institution. With his rich voice, piercing eyes, and effortless elegance, he transformed horror films into something poetic. From House of Wax to The Pit and The Pendulum, Price made fear beautiful. But like many Hollywood legends, his off-screen life was filled with secrets, rivalries, and moments of unexpected darkness. And among them, one feud stood out, a silent war that lasted 2 full decades. It began on the set of a film that was supposed to cement his reputation as the undisputed master of horror. Instead, it sparked one of the most shocking rifts in Hollywood history. The year was 1961. Vincent Price had already become a household name. But he was about to star alongside another powerful actor, Charles Bronson. The two men couldn't have been more different. Price was classically trained, articulate, and flamboyant, a man of theater and taste. Bronson, on the other hand, was rugged, intense, and famously stoic. Where Price thrived on charm and subtlety, Bronson relied on raw, silent toughness. When the two were cast together in House of Wax and later crossed paths in Hollywood's horror circles, the tension between them was immediate. According to crew members, Price was polite and witty, always ready with a joke or a story between takes. But Bronson, ever the serious craftsman, didn't appreciate Price's humor. Their personalities clashed instantly. Price saw Bronson as humorless. Bronson saw Price as arrogant. And then came the incident that changed everything. During filming, a disagreement erupted over a key scene, a dramatic confrontation that required intense emotion. Bronson, known for his minimalistic style, refused to play it the way Price wanted. Price, ever the perfectionist, tried to direct him mid-scene, correcting his line delivery. Bronson didn't take it well. Witnesses say the argument quickly escalated, with both men trading barbed insults. Price, in his sharp and theatrical tone, allegedly mocked Bronson's acting style, calling it wooden. Bronson fired back, accusing Price of being a phony who hid behind theatrics. It was a clash not just of personalities, but of two completely different schools of acting, the old world versus the new. The director tried to intervene, but the damage was done. From that day forward, Vincent Price refused to speak to Charles Bronson, both on and off set. Over the years, the tension only grew. Hollywood insiders whispered about their feud, but both men avoided discussing it publicly. Price, known for his refined public image, chose silence, his way of maintaining dignity. Yet friends of both actors confirmed that the bitterness ran deep. When asked about Bronson in a later interview, Price simply said, "Some people mistake silence for depth. I prefer conversation." Was a subtle jab, but everyone knew exactly whom he meant. For 20 years, the two men moved through Hollywood without crossing paths. They worked in the same industry, sometimes with the same directors, but never again shared a set. Even at major film events, they would deliberately avoid each other. It wasn't until the late 1970s, toward the end of Price's career, that he finally spoke publicly about the feud. With a hint of regret, he admitted, "We were too proud. I wish I'd handled it differently," though the two never reconciled. Price's words showed that time had softened his resentment, if only a little. What makes this story so fascinating isn't just the feud itself, but what it revealed about Vincent Price behind the gentlemanly grace and polished charm. Was a man of fierce conviction, someone who believed deeply in art, in performance, and in respect. And when that respect was tested, he drew a line he would not cross. Vincent Price's silence toward his co-star became one of Hollywood's most enduring legends. A reminder that even the most elegant figures have their breaking point. For 20 years, two icons of cinema stood on opposite sides of a quiet war. And though neither man ever fully made peace, their shared legacy in film remains haunting, powerful, and forever intertwined.